Good morning, everyone. Let me just introduce myself. Hi, I'm Ravi Krishna. I have close to 12 years of experience into IT. So I'm into online trainings from the past close to 9 years. So I trained different candidates in different technologies. So currently I'm working as a solution architect for one of the US bank. Basically, we have different databases in the market, right? So we have Oracle. I think you might have heard about Oracle, SQL Server, MySQL. So these are the different databases that are available in the market. So these are all called RDBMS, okay, relational database management. But Snowflake is also a database, but it's purely designed for analytical database. Okay, so we'll just start with one simple example. So my main idea is, I before starting the Snowflake, I just want you to familiarize with different terminologies of the cloud and Snowflake. Okay, so that's the reason. Just for the initial 5 to 10 minutes, it will be like the basic. Okay, so then we'll move forward. So I just took one example. Let's say we have a bank called ICICI Bank. So basically, ICICI Bank is offering different services, right, to the customers. We have banking, insurance, and we have loans. They have credit cards. Okay, they're into different things actually. Okay, so if you take banking, they have savings account, demat, current account. If you take insurance, they'll do vehicle insurance or a life insurance and all. Okay. When it comes to loan, you have different sets of loans, right? You have home loan, mortgage loan, and all, right? So let's say for each and every service that the bank is providing, they'll have like n number of customers. Okay, so let's say here we have close to around 22 lakh customers. Okay, let's say here we have around 3 lakhs. Here we have around 4 lakh customers. So ultimately, what the bank has to do, bank has to maintain the customer information, and as and when the customer requests for something, the bank should be in a position to give the proper information. Okay, so that's the reason they require a database. Okay, Snowflake is also a database. Okay, and in a database, we'll have different schemas. Schema one is dealing with banking related information. Schema two will be handling insurance related information. Schema 3 will deals with loans information. So why we have a different schemas in a database? Because each and every service is different. Okay, each and every service is different. So that's the reason. Even if you take ICICI Bank, right? So for banking, they'll have separate branch. For insurance, they'll have different separate branch. For loans, they'll have different branches. Okay, to differentiate the customers. Okay, depending upon their service. Similarly, in a database, we'll have different schemas. Okay, so no. See, if you have any questions, you can stop me, guys. Okay. So here, when I say database, right, it will be simply it will be used to store the customer information. So database will have schemas. Okay. What schema will contain? Schema will contain different objects. Okay. So by end of the session, I will show you what are the different objects we have in Snowflake. But just I'll take one. I'll take one example. Let's say table. Okay. So I hope you know about a table, right? So I think this is what I have discussed. Okay. So this is a one information. Let's say student name, the designation, and the role. Let's say date of joining and the salary. So this is one kind of information. Okay. So but the format is, it is a table. It's a tabular format. Okay. So I hope you know what is a table, right? So basically, when I say table, we have rows and columns. So when I say rows, right? So this is called one row. This is second row, third, fourth. So can anyone tell me how many rows we have here? If I exclude the header, right? So I'll have 5 records, right? I have 5 rows. And how many columns I have? This is called column. Okay. So I have 5 rows and 5 columns. Okay. So a table will have rows and columns. Now, do you know what is a data type is? See, the reason why I'm telling you this is a basic uh, to start with the Snowflake. So, can anyone tell me what is a data type? Anyone? So when I say data type, right? So basically the student name, okay, it contains the character information, right? It's a character information. It is also a character, and this is a date information. This is a numeric information. So when I say data type, it is nothing but the type of information which we are storing in a particular column. So I'm just listing out the different terms here. So data type is nothing but the type of information which we are storing in a column. And we have different data types actually. So number, varchar, and date. So these are the three different data types we have. When I say number, it will be used to store the numeric information. When I say varchar, it will be used to store the character information. So we have date, which will be used to store the date information. So you're clear, right? Till this point. So the main idea is database will have schemas. Schema will have different objects. We have many objects out of which we are trying to learn about table. So if I have to like design a table, I need to know the data type. So when I say data type, it is nothing but the type of information which we are storing in a particular column. I think this is one more example that I took actually. So let's say, I mean, if you want to install any software, so what is the procedure actually? So here the one more important term that you need to understand is on-premise. What is on-premise and what is cloud actually? So these are the two terms that you need to understand. So what is the on-premise? On-premise is nothing but let's say I want to start a business. Okay. So let's say I'm opening a let's say supermarket. Okay. Any medical store or something like that. Okay. So what I require a setup, right? I need to have a laptop or some set of computers. Okay. So let's assume I want to have this information. So I want to maintain a server of let's say 4 terabytes and 32 GB of RAM. Okay. And I need to download the software, right? So I need to download the software and I need to install. I think I showed you one example. Let me go through that. So let's assume we are downloading Oracle software. Okay. So what I need to do here, I'm just giving you the example on premise. So I need to download the version. What is the version that I want to download? So let's say 19C. Okay. So here I need to know the operating system. So can you see here? So we have Linux is there. We have Microsoft Windows is there. Can you see the version name? 19C is the version. Okay. Just click on that. See, to download this software, you require 3 GB of space actually. You need to have 3 GB of space. And to install this software, you need to have at least 8 GB of RAM. Okay, these are the configurations. Okay, so what I can do later, I can download the software, I can install. Okay, and let's say the current version which I am installing is let's say 19C. And there is a new version. Let's say Oracle introduced a new version called 21C. Okay, so if I search for this, right? Can you see here a database 19C and 20C, 21C? So what I need to do later after 19C, I need to migrate to 21C. Correct? So there are a lot of see, you need to have some initial setup, right? You need to purchase these servers with this capacity, and you need to do these maintenance activities. Okay, this is called on-premise. So let's talk about cloud actually. What do you mean by cloud actually? So in cloud, you don't require to do all these things. Okay, no need to do all these things. Okay, you just need to have a URL with username and password. I think when you're logging to your Gmail, right? What you need to do, you need to go to the URL called gmail.com. You need to give your username and password. So with that, you can able to log in, okay, and you can upload the files, you can edit the files, or you can send emails, right? So on the similar lines, even you can work with Snowflake. Okay, now let me just show you what is Snowflake. So basically, when I say Snowflake, it's a database which is specially designed for analytical purpose actually. Okay. So there are three different cloud providers who are supporting Snowflake. One is AWS, GCP, and Azure. Okay, so these are the three cloud providers who are supporting Snowflake. So if you take Oracle, right, they have their own cloud. Okay, Oracle cloud is. If you take Google, they have their own cloud, GCP. If you take Amazon, so when you are buying products in Amazon, right, so they have their own cloud actually. Even for Microsoft, they have Azure. They have their own cloud, but Snowflake, they don't have any cloud on its own. Okay, they haven't developed. What they have done, they took the help of AWS, Azure, and GCP. Okay, let's take one example. Let's say you have designed one application. Okay, and you want to, let's say, sell it to the public. So what you need to do in the current scenario, you need to approach any one of the cloud providers. If you go to them, what they will do, so they'll take care of everything. Let's say if a customer comes and asks for, let's say I want to install Snowflake. So you can approach these three people. Okay. You cannot directly approach Snowflake. You can approach either of these three people. Okay. So they'll take care of doing the necessary setup. Okay. Now, why? What is the reason why people and companies are moving towards Snowflake? So let me just give you one background. So in Indian market, right? Snowflake is there from like close to 5 years. Okay? Close to 5 years, and people, I mean, even the companies, right? What they are doing, I'll tell you the current migration scenarios. So we are migrating from Oracle to Snowflake. This is one of
R-
our. Mhm.
Ravi,
Yes,
one
yes,
question.
yeah, yeah.
So you cannot have Snowflake on the on-premises?
On premise, yeah, we don't have actually. So there is one setup called virtual private catalog. Okay,
Yeah.
but we don't have that setup actually.
Okay. Just checking. Thank you.
Ravi, I have one question.
Mhm.
Am I audible, right?
Yes, yes, you're audible. Yes, you go ahead.
Yes. Ravi, what is the difference between the data mart and schema? I look means once database has a contains the multiple schema, right? And the
Right.
schema is a basically is a accounting, financial. Just give an example. So
Uh-huh.
they contain financing data, financial data, and accounting data. There is a different schema. So I can compare with the data mart. Data mart also same is a subset of subset of a data
Exactly.
warehouse.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
so I can compare it. The both are same. I think. Is it correct?
See, basically, when you say data warehouse, right? Data warehouse,
Yeah.
size is huge and it is also a database.
Mhm,
When you say data
mhm.
mart, right? Let's say you have different modules. Okay. So for each
Okay.
module, you'll have one data mart. Okay. Multiple data marts will combine into a data warehouse actually. So when it compares
Okay.
with what is a data warehouse, data mart size is very less.
Mm,
But the
okay.
database setup
So
is
as
same.
compared
So
to schema, as as
yes,
as
both are
compared to the
both.
schema. Okay. Both are.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. See, in a database, you'll have schemas.
Mhm. Okay, okay. So I have another question. So
Mhm.
the Informatica, just to give an example, I can say. So Informatica installed in somewhere. So
Right.
Informatica server it will installed somewhere in my company. Is this I just like ACL technology? Okay.
Right.
So
Right.
ACL technologies I can access it to the only the client software and then I access it. And what uh, and client is to be installed in any local system, so I can access with the credentials and then we have to the communicate. So what is the where is the on premises? So it would be like a cloud also, like same I can compare it. So I have a credentials all of my company, so I have installed into my system, my the local system, my personal PC. Okay, I have to install the personal PC and client Informatica, then I have access it. So this is the on premises it support and as well as the cloud, I
See,
think. Yeah.
see,
uh, are you
okay.
getting my question or not?
I got your
Yes,
question.
yes.
Let me show you that.
Mm.
See,
Yep,
I have
yep,
a
yep.
Informatica in my system. Okay.
Hmm. So I have a credentials and all the domains, password, everything I have. So I have
See,
installed on the client and then I have to log in into my. Yeah.
see. Let's say, in my system I have Informatica. Okay. So this is
Yeah.
Informatica. So what I can do,
Yes.
see, it is installed in my machine. Okay. It is on premise.
Okay.
It
Okay.
is my
Yep.
laptop. It's on premise. Okay. Let's say you're working in
Hmm.
a company. Okay. So your servers will
Yes.
be there in US or somewhere. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So you
Okay.
through network you are going to access that server. Okay.
Okay.
You need to have a like software here. Through connections you can log into the respective server.
Yes.
Okay. So here on premise, when I say on premise, it will be there in you heard about different data centers, right? So they'll take care of maintaining the data centers. So there you have all the
Ah.
servers.
Okay. Okay.
So when you
Okay.
when you when you let's say, so this is with respect to the company. Okay. So in the similar scenario, let's say I am starting a business. Okay, let's take on-premise scenario. Okay, I am starting a business. Okay, I require in Oracle Informatica a different service. Okay, so my service will be in US. Okay, so I'll start
Mm.
my business from here. So I'll work. Okay, so in other
Okay.
words, let's say when it comes to Snowflake. Okay, so you're not going to
Mm.
set up any servers and all. You will take care of the
Yes.
help from the
URL and
cloud
yeah.
cloud
Mhm.
providers. So you'll ask them, I
Okay.
require this much of capacity, this much of RAM, okay, this many
Mhm.
resources. They will take care of setuping everything. I think in Hyderabad also you have a Amazon data center, right? So what the data centers will do? So if lot of startup companies are came, right, why they are came here?
Mhm.
Because the reason is they are relying on these cloud providers. Okay. So I'm just coming to that point only. Why we have Snowflake? Okay. So I think
Yeah.
your question will be answered in short.
Yes. 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 Right.
Okay, so when I say Snowflake, why people are moving towards Snowflake? Basically, it's a cloud. You can call it as a software as a service, or data warehouse as a service, or database as a service. Okay, and one of the important point is you have to pay only for the services that you have consumed. Okay, so let's take one example. So let's say I have this setup actually. Okay, so I have 4 terabytes of hard disk and 32 GB of RAM. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use it for only 1 hour. Okay, so in case of Snowflake, right, what they're going to charge is if you use it for 1 hour, they'll charge you only for 1 hour. Okay, if let's say if you consume for let's say 7 hours, they'll charge you only for 7 hours. Okay, so pay only for the services that you have consumed. Okay, I think once we log into Snowflake, I'll show you how to log into Snowflake. Then it will be more clearer for you. And the storage services are flexible, scale up and scale down. Okay, when I say scale up and scale down, there's a new term that you need to understand. So let's say you have purchased a RAM and hard disk. You have the server here. Okay. After let's say 6 months, you don't find your business is growing and you are end up in losses. Is there any way that you can reduce the capacity? No, I just want to go to 1 TB and 16 GB. You have to bear the cost, right? You have to bear with it, or other words, you need to purchase again. So here the cost is more, right? The initial setup is more, but when it comes to cloud, initially you have purchased this much of capacity. Okay, and later you find that your business is not growing. Okay, you can reduce that. That is called scale down. Let's say you have 1 TB, now you want to scale up. You can go to 4 TB and 32 GB. That is called scale up. Okay, with the help of cloud, I think the flexibility is there. You can scale up and scale down because you don't have the initial setup, right? So they are taking care of that, maintaining the servers and all. Okay, so that is one advantage. Not only with Snowflake, it's with every cloud actually. Okay, and it supports semi-structured data. So when I say semi-structured data, let's talk about different formats of the data. This is very important to understand. So when I say data, right, we have structured data. What do you mean by structured data? So table data or CSV data. We just we have seen this example, right? This is a table. It is more structured. We have columns and we have rows. So this is more meaningful. Okay, this is the like the standard way of representing the data. If you take any database, the data will be stored in the tables. Now there is one more format called CSV. What do you mean by CSV? So can you see this file? Can you see the extension .csv? So you have different columns here, 1, 2, 3. Okay, you have different columns and the data. So employee number is 7839. Employee name is Jaya. Okay, so this is one more format of the data. So the data is separated, or the columns are separated with a comma. So this is one more format of the data. This is called a structured data. So the table data and the CSV format. So these two are called structured formats. Okay. There is one more thing called semi-structured. So what do you mean by semi-structured? So we have XML, JSON, Parquet, Avro. Okay. These are the different formats of the semi-structured. So what is XML? I think if you can look at this example, there is one more file called emp.xml. So this is a one more representation of the data. So you can have the data in this format also. Okay. So you have like a root parent and a child tags, right? So this is another format of the data. So Snowflake supports all formats of the data. And there is one more format called .json. Can you see the file name? car.json. So Vinay, Reddy, he purchased Mercedes Benz of a 2001 model. Okay, so like this, you have like 320 records here. So this is one more format of the data. Okay, so the point is here Snowflake supports all formats of the data, and it has integrations with cloud services like Azure, GCP, and Amazon. So it can interact with all the three cloud providers. Even our course will cover Azure, GCP, and Amazon. So how you're going to communicate between Snowflake and the other cloud providers. And it has integrations with ETL and reporting tools. Okay, so I have one slide specifically for this to understand interacting with ETL and reporting tools. So see, this is Snowflake. It is communicating with, can you see here?
Hi, Ravikrishna. I have
Information.
small doubt.
Hmm. Yes,
Hello.
yes. Yeah, go ahead.
Ravikrishna, ETL tool also required for Snowflake.
No, ETL tool is not required. What I'm saying is, let's say you have on-premise database. Okay, you have Oracle is there. Okay, so from
Okay.
Oracle, how you're going to load the data to Snowflake? Okay, so you require a one ETL tool. Okay, so you
Okay.
can
Okay.
make use of Informatica, Matillion, or DBT, whatever it may be.
Okay. Okay.
So to load the
Uh,
data. Okay, so
you- okay. You will teach the ETL tool also?
yes, IAC we'll cover. I'm just coming to that. Yes, just 2 minutes. I'll
Yeah.
show you.
Sure. Sure. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, here the point which you need to understand is Snowflake can interact with the different ETL tools and reporting tools. So if you see this diagram, so we can like push the data to like from Snowflake, we can push the data to other cloud providers, or from other on-premise database, we can get the data to Snowflake. And it can interact with integration tools like MuleSoft and Alteryx. And we have, I hope you heard about the big data tools, right? Spark, Hadoop, and all. Even we can communicate with these tools also. Okay. So finally, the data can be pushed to the reporting layer. When I say reporting, you have Power BI, Cognos. So the reporting team, they will utilize this data for analytics. So this is one more advantage of Snowflake, and it has integration with Python. Okay. So let me, I think I already given the points here. So as part of this course curriculum, we are going to learn about Informatica Cloud, okay, Informatica Integrated Cloud Services, to load the data from Oracle to Snowflake, and we are learning about Matillion. So Matillion is also one of the ETL tool, and Hero data. This is also one of the third party what to say source provider. So this is also one of the widely used tool in the real time. And even we are going to see like a couple of examples on Python. Let's say we are working on Python. If you want to access any data set of Snowflake, yes, we can do that. We have Python connectors, and even our course will cover that. So that is with respect to the integration with Python, and it has its advanced features like streams, tasks, Snowpipe, and time travel. Anyways, I'll show you that at the end. So any questions so far? So I just introduced you
Ravi,
the different. Mhm.
Ravi, got a question. Like we know that it's a cloud data warehouse, but we do have competitors like Redshift,
Redshift, right,
Synapse, all these things,
right,
right?
right,
How
right,
is
right.
it
Yes.
much better than any of these? How does it stand out?
Right. See, here the point is, see, if you are working in, let's say, Azure, okay, so you have Redshift is their database, okay, and let's say if you are on Snowflake, okay, so Snowflake can support different people, okay, AWS, GCP, and Azure, okay, it can communicate with different cloud providers, and it has its own unique features, and the main advantage is the computing power. Okay, I'll list down the features which differs between the other cloud providers. See, whatever Snowflake does, even other tools can does. Okay, there are competitors. Okay, but each tool has its own advantages. I'll just cover that in couple of minutes. I'll cover that.
Okay.
Uh, Ravi, I have just quick question. So is this Oracle queries supported to Snowflake is much similar
99%.
like 99? Oh, yeah.
99%.
Okay,
What
okay,
if you take
yes.
any query of SQL Server, DB2, MySQL, Oracle? Okay, so I
Mm-hmm.
think since we got this point, I just want to make a statement. Like, see,
Uh-huh.
Snowflake developed from the experts of Oracle, Google, SQL Server. Okay, so these
Okay.
experts they combined and they started this product. And even what they have done is they haven't directly released the product into the market. They have done significant trials on their own products and they came into the market with the results. See, Snowflake is there from long time, around 7 years also, but it's in the market from the past close to 4 to 5 years only. So the reason is they have done everything. They have completed with the complete results. Okay, so that no competitor can reproduce the same product. Okay, so it
Okay.
supports almost 99% of the syntax. Even see, actually we are migrating. We have different inbound and outbound systems. Our inbound is Oracle and outbound is Teradata. Now what we are doing is we are migrating from Oracle to Snowflake and Teradata to Snowflake. So here we are using one of the AI tool which will mm, copy the entire I mean you know about these procedures, functions, packages and all, right? So it will pick
Mm-hmm.
the dump and it will convert almost close to 70% into Snowflake. Okay, on the 30% actually manually we have to rewrite the procedures and we have to execute them
Okay.
and we need to see whether we're getting the correct results or not. Okay, so that much of flexibility is there. All the queries, 100% or 99%, each and every function will support in Snowflake.
Okay. Okay.
Even I can show you that. I have Oracle in my machine. SQL Server is there. Okay, I'll show you that. So we'll try to compare. Let's say if you have a let's say procedure or table view, materialized view, what okay, and how you're going to migrate to Snowflake. Okay. What is the comparison between these two? We can do that
Okay.
actually.
Okay. 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 Thanks.
So, I just made a point, right? Snowflake has its I mean the integration with the cloud, all the three clouds, Amazon, Azure, and GCP. And we are going to learn about Python also, and we are going to learn about Hivo data. Okay, I'll tell you this later. Okay, let's start with the architecture. So we'll jump to Snowflake and we'll try to understand how the UI looks like. Okay, so before jumping into Snowflake, you need to understand the architecture. So Snowflake architecture has three different layers. So one is the database storage layer, query processing, and cloud service layer. So I'll just put it in a simple terms to understand. So let's assume you have an external hard disk. Okay. So you are not connected to any of the computer. You have the external hard disk. In the external hard disk, you have XML files, JSON files. You have your images. Okay. Um, okay. You have the data. Okay. But if you want to view that, what you require? You require a computer, right? You require a computer. Let's assume this is a computer. Okay. One, two, three. They have three computers. The difference is it's a 2 GB RAM, it's a 4 GB, it's a 16 GB. Okay, so you once you plug in the hard disk, let's assume you're using 2 GB of RAM. The performance is slow, right? The retrieval time will be very high and you won't get the much performance. Let's say you're using 4 GB of RAM. Okay, compared to 2 GB, it's more, it's very fast actually. If it takes 32 GB, okay, you'll get the data within no seconds. Right here, the point is this is the database. In the database, you will have all the data. When I say data, it could be semi-structured, or let me put one more thing is unstructured. And when I say unstructured, you have this images, right? You have images, PDFs. These will come under unstructured data, and you have streaming data. When I say streaming data, you can take example of Facebook, okay, or you can take the stock market data. It'll change within seconds. Okay, this is the streaming data. So all the data will be sitting in the database. Okay, can you see have four databases here? You can have n number of databases. Slowly you'll understand once we go to the front end. And what is this query processing? See, virtual warehouse is nothing but for the timing. What you can understand is depending upon the virtual warehouse size. Okay, the way you are retrieving the data will differ. Okay, the time actually. Okay, if 2 GB, 4 GB, 16 GB. Okay, more the warehouse size or more the warehouse capacity. Okay, the time will be reduced to retrieve the data. Okay. So if I have to put it in a pure technical terms, database layer will be responsible for storing the data. Query processing layer will be helpful in retrieving the data from the database. Okay. How fast it is going to retrieve? It's depending upon your warehouse size. We'll see how a warehouse size will look like. You understood, right? I need to retrieve the data from the database. I require some compute power. So these warehouses will give us the compute power. You can have different sizes of the warehouses. Again, the third layer is cloud services layer. See, to log into Gmail, you require a URL with username and password. So if you give you a wrong username or password, it'll throws an error, right? Incorrect username or password. Okay. So there should be some authentication check, right? Similarly, when you log into Snowflake, you should require a URL with username and password. Okay. So the authentication will be done in the cloud services layer. And you have optimization, metadata. Anyways, these four I think you'll get slowly. But the cloud services layer, what I can say, it's a brain of Snowflake. Okay, you got it right. You have three layers: database, query processing, and cloud services layer. So let me just quickly go to snowflake.com. This is the URL to log into Snowflake, snowflake.com. Can you see at the right hand side there is an option start for free? So click on the start for free. So once you click on this, see, it is as simple as creating a Gmail account. So it is asking you to give the first name and last name. Let me give the details. And you should have a Gmail account. Okay. I just created one account. Let me. So I have created one Gmail account. So when you're logging for the first time, right, you should use a new Gmail account. See, so currently I don't have any emails. Let me delete that. See, I don't have any emails here. Let's try to utilize this email. I'm just checking the email. Yeah, it is correct. This is my email. Okay. And after that, what it is asking, it is asking the company name. So let me give the company name. So the role, it could be anything. Okay. I'm a data engineer. Let's click on continue. Okay. Now let's talk about the editions. What are these Snowflake editions? When I say Snowflake edition, I'll just give you one example. Just to put it in simple terms. Let's say I have developed a product. Okay. Or if you take a car example, let's say you're purchasing a car, you'll have base variant, medium, and high variant, right? So you can take that as an example. This is a base variant, medium variant, high variant. Okay. If you go to high variant, you'll get all the features of the car. If I come to Snowflake, let's assume you have 100 features of Snowflake. So I want to work with most of the features. Okay, I'll go with business critical. If you choose enterprise, you won't get all the features of business critical. If you choose standard, you won't get the features of enterprise and business critical. So that's the reason I'm going with business critical. See, if you want to understand it, I think by end of this course, you'll understand what are the different editions, what they will do. Let me just show you. I think I already drafted the features here, but it's difficult for you to understand. Let me just go through that. Yeah. Can you see here? Standard edition, enterprise, business critical. Okay. And there is one more thing called virtual private Snowflake. Okay. Anyways, this is not required. So standard, enterprise, and business critical. So these features, right, whatever they are listed, it is difficult for you to understand. So that's the reason I just put it in a different example. Anyways, we are going to work with all the editions on the differences. So I'm just going with business critical. So as I already told you, Snowflake is supporting by three different cloud providers: Azure, GCP, and Amazon. It's up to you what are the cloud provider that you want to choose. I'm just going with AWS. And just click on the terms and agreement. Let it be the data center. Okay. Click on get started. Okay, so it is asking what is the reason for you to sign up with Snowflake. I want to do a training and certification. When I say certification, right? See, there are different certifications. I think if you can clear the basic certification, right, that will be like more useful for you. Can you see the first one is SnowPro course certificate? If you complete my course, okay, so my course will cover all the aspects of SnowPro course certification. You can easily clear that. I think it will be close to 15,000, I guess, for the basic certification. And even most of the people are asking for the certification. These are the certification details. So if you're an architect or administrator, data engineer, data scientist, okay, depending upon your role, okay, you can do the other certification. But the base one is SnowPro Core certification. I'll talk about this. So I want to do a training and certification. Click on continue. If you want, you can skip this step also. That's not required. They're just collecting the information. So click on continue. And what do you want to do with the Snowflake? So I can migrate an existing data warehouse. Okay. I can do a visualizations. You can do all these things actually. Okay. So let me click on continue. Snowflake support different languages. See, if you take Oracle, it supports only SQL, but Snowflake, it supports SQL, Python. You can write the procedures in these different languages. It supports all the languages. Okay, click on submit. So can you see here an email is sent to respect to Gmail for the activation. Okay. So see here, start your 30-day free trial with $400 worth of usage. What is this $400? $400, which means if you are utilizing one service, they'll charge you some credits. Okay. So, but they have given you $400 of credit. Okay. Just remember this point. I'll tell you the later. Now, let me go to my Gmail and I should receive an email from Snowflake for activating my account. So this is my URL. This is my URL. To log into Snowflake, you require a URL and I need the username and password, right? So if I click on activate, there is a button here. Click on this activate. So once you click on this, it will ask you to choose the username and password. Just going with K Ravi. I need to confirm the password. Let me click on get started. These details are you should remember these details. This is my URL with username and password. Now let's okay, fine. So we just logged in. So let me start with this URL. Copy this URL here. Click on sign in. I need to give my username and password. So I just logged into Snowflake and the UI which you are seeing. See, this is a URL, right? Basically, this is a the user experience which you are seeing currently. It has a name. Okay, the name is called Snowsite. The name of the UI is called Snowsite. I think 6 months back, I guess, they stopped giving the access to one more UI that is called Classic UI. Okay, there are two UIs. Okay, one is Snowsite, the other one is Classic UI. If you're working in a company, okay, you will have access to both these UIs. Okay, see, the user experience will be different. Okay, but everything will be same. I'll show you how a classic UI will look like. But for the time being, we are currently, since we are on a free version, we are working with Snowset. Okay. Now you have worksheets here, dashboards, Streamlight, apps. Okay, you have different things here. So there is a plus button, right? So click on this. Click on SQL worksheet. Now, this is my SQL worksheet. Can you see at the left hand side? You have two databases, Snowflake and Snowflake sample data. I think while giving the introduction, what I told you, database will have different schemas. What schema will contain? Schema will contain objects. We'll see what are the different objects we have, but let's start with database. So we have a database. So let me just click on this database. Can you see how many schemas you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have 7 schemas. Okay. So ICICI Banking is giving 3 services. Okay. That's the reason we have 3 schemas. Okay. Here in this database, you have 7 schemas. You can have n number of schemas. Okay. But what this schema will contain? Let me open one of the schema. What it contains? It contains the tables. So you have call center data is there. Okay, customer information is there. Okay. You have different tables are there. Okay. But these two databases are given by Snowflake. So what is the purpose of Snowflake data? Snowflake sample data. If you are new to Snowflake, if you want to practice, you require some tables. So that's the reason Snowflake has provided this data. So we'll see practically and we'll use this schema and this database. There is one more database called Snowflake. So this is purely for maintaining the accounts and the administration part. Okay, I'll cover this in the later sessions. But as of today, what we are going to do is, so we are going to create this database and 3 schemas. Okay? And we are going to create one table, I think, which I showed you in the Excel sheet, right? So we are going to create this table. So let me just quickly create a database. So before creating the database, you need to understand different parts here. One is the worksheet, the other one is a role. So when I say role, let's say I'm working in a company. Okay, let's say I'm a manager. Okay. I have one role. My role is a manager. Okay, depending upon my role, okay, my responsibilities will differ. Let's assume you are a team member. Okay, your roles maybe are different. Okay, so here, depending upon the role, okay, depending upon the role, the user responsibilities will change. In other words, I'll have access to few of the components. Okay, so if you want to understand role, right, you have account admin, org admin, public, security, sysadmin, and user admin. These are different roles. You can assume like a manager, team lead, consultant, architect. Okay. Anyways, we have a separate session to understand each and every role. I already told you. Can you see here warehouse? I think if you look at the architecture, just try to compare between the architecture versus the Snowflake UI. This is the architecture. You have database layer. Okay. So can you see databases? You are able to relate, right, between the architecture versus the Snowflake UI. So this is nothing but the database, and this is nothing but the query processing layer. The by default, you have one warehouse that is called compute warehouse. Okay. So which is of extra small. So this is kind of a t-shirt. Okay, t-shirt size, extra small. Okay, we'll see that. Okay. So we have what we are seeing here. We have seen the worksheet, and we have seen the roles, and we have seen the warehouse, and we have seen the databases, right? We have seen the databases, and we have seen the schemas, and we have seen the object called tables, right? So let's quickly create a database. So let's say I'm creating a database. This is pure English database. Let's say dev underscore, or we have created this ICICI bank, right? Let's say ICICI DB. I'm creating a database. So the database is successfully created. Can you see here? Database successfully created. Let me do a refresh here. I have a database here. So when I create a database, by default, 2 schemas will be automatically created. I'll tell you the purpose in tomorrow's session. But just remember, if you create a database, 2 schemas will be automatically created. Okay. Now, I would like to create a schema. Oh, I would like to create 3 schemas. Okay. So we are just talking about this example, right? So let me quickly create 3 schemas. Create schema. Let's say I would like to create loan schema. Okay. Loans underscore schema. The schema is successfully created. Let me do a refresh here. See, I have loan schema. And similarly, I would like to create one more schema. Let's say we have insurance and banking. Okay, let me create insurance. I've created insurance schema that is created. The last one is banking schema. Let me create that. Let me do a refresh. So I have created 3 schemas. Currently, what it is saying, no objects. We already learned, right? A database will have schemas, schemas will have objects. So currently it is saying there are no objects. Let me quickly create a table. So what are the different columns that I need to create a table? Student name, designation, role, and date of join. Right? let's say the table name is st underscore student underscore info. Okay? This is my table which I'm going to create. And we understood the purpose of data type, right? What is a data type actually? I think I already gave you the example, right? Data type is nothing but the type of information which we are storing in a column. It is a character information. This is a character, date, and number. Okay? So student name, I know it's a character, so I need to use varchar. So varchar is the data type which will be used to store the character information. Role is a character information. Date is a date information. This number is a numeric information. So let me quickly create a table. The table is successfully created. See, if you want to execute this statement, right, the shortcut is Control Enter is the shortcut, or you can run this play button. So can you see the play button? Let me show you that. Let me do a refresh here. Refresh. So I can see a table, right? I have a table here. This is my table name. Okay. Now, by looking at this, can you tell me how many tables you have? Only one table, right? Only one table, correct? Okay. Let me quickly create a couple of tables. Let me open the worksheet. I'm opening another worksheet. See, if you want to open another worksheet, click on this button, open SQL worksheet. So here, I would like to select a database. I would like to select ICICI database banking schema. Okay. See, this is how you need to select a database. I'm executing few statements. Anyways, I'll share you the script. Let me run the script. Hit execute. Anyways, it is running. Let it complete. I'll tell you that. But so the question which I asked is, so by looking at this, I can easily say that there is one table. Okay. So let the script complete. So meanwhile, we'll try to see what are the objects that we can create. Let me go to the data. See, I'm coming to data, and here you have different databases. So I just created this database, and this is a schema that I have created. Okay, if I place, if I click on this schema, there is an option to create here. Okay, if anyone asks, as a Snowflake developer, what you have done? As a Snowflake developer, I have created different tables, views, stages, storage integrations, file format, sequences, pipe, stream, task, function, procedure, dynamic tables. So if you ask me, what is the course content? The course content is nothing but learning about all these things. Okay. So these are the different objects, right? So what I told you, so database will have different schema will have different objects. So what are the different objects of Snowflake? So these are the different objects. Okay, tables, views, stages, file format, sequences. Anyways, under this you have different things here. Okay, but these are the main objects. Okay. And I don't know whether you got the course content or not, but let me just show you the course content. So this is the course content. So we'll just, I'm just highlighting, reading the one which are in like blue color. So we'll get the overview. We'll talk about the virtual warehouses. We'll talk about the staging. When I say staging, that is to discuss about Azure, GCP, and Amazon. Okay? And we have this copy command. So when I say copy command, it will be used to load the data. What are the different tables in Snowflake? You have different table types actually. I think if you're already working in a database, you might have heard about different tables, right? Permanent tables, okay, external tables, right? On the similar line, Snowflake has different table types. I'll talk about that. Snowpipe. When I say Snowpipe, it's for continuous data loading. See, these are the different unique features of Snowflake. So the reason why people choosing this option is because of these features. Okay. So we have Snowpipe is there, time travel is there. When I say time travel, it is for backup and recovery. You have cloning. Cloning is nothing but taking the backup. Okay, so you have streams, you have tasks, so you have caching, so you have data sharing. So how you're going to share the data between different accounts or different users, and you have different roles. We just seen, right? We have different roles, right? We have account admin, org admin, public, user admin. Okay, let me go to that. Let me open the worksheet. Can you see here? You have account admin, org admin, public. So we are going to discuss about all these roles. Okay, we are going to discuss about all these, and we have procedures and functions. Okay, so I'll give you like from scratch to advanced level on the procedures and functions. Even I'll share you the different examples. Okay, and we have material views, external tables, and these are all the real-time scenarios. We'll cover with how to work with Python, how to work with Informatica Cloud, how to work with Hero Data, and how to work with Matillion. I think I forgot to add the another point here. And also we're going to see a couple of examples on Snowpark. So basically Snowpark is nothing but, have you guys heard about PySpark?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, right. So similarly in Snowflake also, so I think for PySpark, right, you need to use Databricks to log in and to like what to say, whatever Informatica is doing, you can do the same in PySpark. Okay. So here the Snowflake you have Snowpark. So I'll cover a couple of scenarios. This is not at like guaranteed access, and I'll help you in the interview preparation, project discussion, and resume preparation. Okay, and what else? Okay, let me
Uh,
just check.
Ravi, quick question. One.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, Ravi, so what are the implementation in the Informatica? All are ETL tools like Data Stage and Informatica, Talent, everything, and without any help. So I can implementation at here and the SCD type 1, type 2, and implement delta extractions. So multiple logics are implemented
Yes.
at here. Okay.
Yes. Yes. See, basically, Snowflake, you
Mm-hmm.
can call it as it is a data warehouse. Okay. Snowflake is a data warehouse. Whatever the transformations that you're doing in data stage or say Teradata or Informatica, you can do the same in Snowflake. Okay. It's called as a ELT, extraction, loading, and transformation. You can extract the data from, let's say, on-premise, and you can load into Snowflake.
Mm-hmm.
After that, you can apply transformation. It is not like a ETL. Okay. You can do both
Okay.
ETL as well as ELT activities.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, sure.
Ravi,
So
got a question?
yes, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I just wanted to know if you are touching anything related to data modeling. The reason I'm asking this is because how is cloud modeling, data modeling different than traditional data warehouse and dimensional modeling? I keep getting asked about this question many times. I've
Mhm.
worked on cloud data modeling, so maybe they are asking us to answer in terms of computing and all such stuff. I'm not really sure what that means, when they say that cloud database model.
See, generally in the what to say, actually what in traditional, right, we are using actually Erwin as a data modeler tool. So
Mhm.
for to create a single table, also to adding a column, also we are making use of Erwin data modeler tool. So I mean, not sure how this work in like what to say cloud environment. Uh, but the data model which we are using is Erwin data model actually. So we have physical and logical
No,
data
no,
modeling, right?
that's fine. But what I'm
Uh,
asking you is
uh-huh.
the concepts which we implement in data dimension modeling, right? With
Right, right.
Starflake, Snowflake.
Okay, star
Uh,
schema, Snowflake, schema, SCD type 1,
is
type 2, type.
Yeah, and is it different in Snow
No,
in this particular?
no, no. See, the concept is same, but the way you are implementing will differ. I'll cover you how to implement SCD type 1, type 2 on.
Okay. And with regards to ETL, would you be covering loading extracts, of unstructured and semi-structured data?
Yes, we are covering all the three. Yes, XML, JSON, Parquet, Avro.
Okay.
So, so you got the concept. Let me just summarize what I am going to cover and see. So I'm going to talk about Snowflake, and if you just go to the course content, and if you want to compare it with any of the like other course content, you can just compare. So this is a unique course content what we have, and most of the real-time scenarios will be covered. Okay, let me just highlight the things here. So we are going to talk about Python. We are going to talk about AWS, GCP, Azure. We're going to talk about Matillion. We're going to talk about IACS, Informatica Integrated Cloud Services, and we're going to talk about. We'll see how to connect to Oracle, and what if you have, let's say, a couple of tables or procedures, and how you're going to migrate to Snowflake. So we'll see that, and we'll cover some of the couple of examples of Snowpark. Okay, I think that's all I guess. Yes. So these are the
Snowpipe
mhm.
also, right?
Sorry.
Snowpipe, that
Yes,
is,
yes, Snowpipe. Yeah, that's what. This will come to under Snowflake. See, I think if you see the course content, it's already highlighted Snowpipe. Snowpipe is
okay.
for continuous data loading. Yes. So, when I say Snowpipe, right? Let's say you have a data in your AWS S3 bucket. So then how you're going to load the data to Snowflake? So how you're going to establish the relation between these two? So we'll cover that. So everything will be covered. Okay. And probably I think if you can attend one more demo session, right, then it will be more clear for you. Okay. And let me just take the questions. So before that,
You
let
mean
me.
the second demo, Ravi? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, this is second session actually. I mean, this is the continuous session. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So usually I used to get these questions from the students. So let me answer this. So basically, the prerequisite is you should have knowledge on SQL. If you don't have, I'll share you the videos. Just go through that. Even if you have like any queries, I'll cover that. It will be close to 35 to 40 days actually, and daily 1 hour, Monday to Saturday. Okay, so the course fees and all you can check with the management. And yeah, this is what. So they'll ask you, are you going to help me in resume preparation, certification help, entry questions, lab materials? Okay, so every these things will be provided. Okay, and let's talk about the resume. Anyways, resume preparation I'll do it. Certification help. Okay, if you are planning to complete the certificate. Okay, let me
So what is
quickly
the
share.
timing, Ravi? What is the timing, Ravi?
Timings most probably it will be from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Okay.
You're connected from India or US?
No, no, India only.
Only, right? Yeah. I mean, you can check. Like, we'll just check. We are planning to start the session from 8 o'clock, but we'll take the feedback from everyone. So if everyone are okay, we'll start from 8 to 9, or else 7:30 to 8:30. Some
Is that Monday to Friday, Ravi?
yes, Monday to Friday. Yeah. Okay. See.
And is there a way we can contact you, or timings?
Yeah, I think we can have a WhatsApp group. So if you have any questions, you can post them in the group. Okay, we'll cover that. Even I'll keep on posting the interview questions on the group actually, so you can go through that. And one more thing is, if you practice every day, I think if you are like looking for a job, or if you want to switch your let's say career from let's say any of the database to Snowflake, it's a good opportunity. You can just go ahead and I can do that.
So when are you
Ravi, any
start
batches?
this? When are you planning
Sorry.
to start the main course?
Yeah, we are planning to start after this festival actually,
Okay.
probably from Tuesday.
Hi Ravi.
Yeah, hi.
SQL is required for the to Snowflake main
Yes,
SQL, but
yes. Skill is required, and I'll tell you. See, as I told you, right? So I'll share you the we have 10 recorded videos. You can go through that. Okay, if many of the people doesn't know about SQL, what I will do is, see, I mean, so the people who comes to Snowflake is right, they should have a basic idea on any of the database or any of the informatic or SQL background. Because if I start teaching SQL, they'll get, I mean it's not good
Okay.
for them actually. So offline I'll take a different session for you. Okay, Or else if you want to practice every day, like a couple of videos, you can complete that within 5 days. Okay.
Okay.
So
I'm
SQL is mandatory.
SQL database
Uh,
admin.
Yeah. See, if you know any one database, that is enough actually.
Okay, okay, okay.
You just need to know how to write the queries and all. If see,
Not for
Ravi,
not for developer, I'm for administrator.
can you please come again?
No, I'm not for developer. I'm a database administrator, SQL DB administrator.
Okay, fine. Yeah. The queries which you are using, right? To monitor
Yes,
the
sir.
database, to check the explain plan, to improve the performance and all. Those queries are
Yes,
enough.
yes, yes.
So you should
Yes,
know
sir.
how to write a query, how to retrieve the data from the database. Okay, you should know how to use joins, subqueries. Okay, correlated subqueries, and even see during the session itself I'll cover. So let's say if we have to work on any of the SQL function or SQL query, right? So if you don't have an idea, I'll explain that and I'll start the.
Okay, okay.
If
Ravi,
you have
so each day 1 hour, like how many days would this be? Like how many hours would this be? Class.
uh, close to 30 hours, so if you exclude that Saturdays and Sundays, right, it goes to 40 days, 35 to 40 days.
Okay.
Ravi, quick question. Any batch will started on February, is it? So,
Yeah, we will start a batch. Every month we'll start a batch.
okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
you can
fine.
get in touch with the management. Yeah, they'll inform you.
Okay, yeah, sure.
We have sessions in the morning and evening also.
Mm-hmm. Evening
Okay.
what time?
So yes, Ravi.
It will
Sorry,
be
sorry to
nine.
interrupt. Actually, we want to.
Yes, yes, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, yeah, go ahead with the question. Uh, Hello.
Yes, Ravi. Actually, I want to know that any batches for in the evening time, because evening is morning. We have a scrum call.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
That's why.
Yeah. I think today we started with the morning session. So
Okay,
I'll check with you can just get in touch with the management and they'll inform you about the timings.
okay, sure, Ravi.
Also,
Thanks. And one more thing, just to want to understand whether we are covering this streaming data as well as
yes,
like
yes, streaming.
Kafka
Yes.
message queue. That's because one of the interview they
On.
asked
Mm-hmm.
that
Right,
Kafka
right. Yes.
integration and
Correct.
about the CDC,
Yeah,
how we
CDC we
are
are covering
going to.
streams. When I say
Right,
CDC
right.
in Snowflake, it is called as a change data capture. It is called streams actually. So
Streams, okay, and dynamic tables as well, right?
yes, we are covering, yeah, dynamic tables. So dynamic tables is not at what to say guaranteed access, but
Hmm.
that I think it is there in the UI, right? I think if you go to this UI and go to the
Because one
okay,
of the interview they were asked about.
yeah, exactly right. Dynamic tables are nothing but these are the what to say alternative for streams actually. So if you go
Okay.
to schema, right? Can you see dynamic table here? See,
Mhm.
yeah, this is what dynamic table. So basically in Snowflake, right, you can in
Mhm.
other databases you can create a materialized views, but in Snowflake, if you want to create a materialized view, you should depend on only a single table. You cannot use a joins and all. So that's the reason we are going with this dynamic table.
Oh yeah, it's a multiple tables. Yeah.
Yes,
Right,
exactly. Yeah.
right. Streaming data, like Kafka for external configuration. Those are
Streaming
also we
data,
are covering
no, those are I'm not covering it actually.
integrations. Or
So what is your requirement? I'll just figure it out. You can just
just enough. One of the interview they asked how to Snowflake is integrated with the Kafka.
uh-huh.
Did you work
Okay,
on it?
okay. Even I haven't worked on it, but I'll get you the details.
Okay. Thanks.
So just go through the course content and go through the
Ravi,
recording.
Ravi,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, someone asked a question.
Mm-hmm.
This is program focus on real life projects. Like, are you going to demonstrate small kind of project for us, like hands-on, so that we can make our hands dirty on it?
Yes, see the session is completely practical oriented. I would say like 90% practical, so 10% theory. Okay, so if you practice every day, right? I mean you can crack any interview. That is for sure actually. So it is completely practical oriented. And also the way I'll share the recordings and videos. So this is how I'll share. So day one, day two, something kind of thing. And what are the files that I have used, I'll use to share that. And the notes will be in one, see, it will be like appended actually every day. So this is the first session and there's, can you see the second session? Okay. So day wise, I'll just give the content what I have going to explain. And apart from this, I'll share you the dumps actually. I think I was showing you, right? For the dumps.
Because we are looking for something which is not theoretical, but kind of a
No,
practical
it is completely
scenario.
practical. No, no, no.
Yeah, if
That
you're on a
you
project,
see, yes, yes, yes. It's completely practical oriented.
Okay. So
What
Ravi, it
creative?
is between 8 and 9 in the morning, right? Your time, correct?
Yes. You're from which time zone? PST or Central?
EST time zone.
Oh, Eastern. I think it will be. It's all almost.
I and
Same.
Murali are in the same place, Ravi. So
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, 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 okay. Fine, fine. Yeah, I think we can work out on the timings actually. If you, I think it's if it is 7:30, I think it's more suitable for you, right? Even 7 o'clock
Yeah.
also work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll try to do that. Yeah. Just check with them and just share your plan actually when you, I mean, what is the preferred timings for you? So based on that, we'll start the session.
Oh.
I think most of the people are on actually, they are traveling actually to their hometowns. So I think most of the people are not joining.
And Ravi, Databricks is not required and not covered in
Exactly.
this training. That is
See,
nothing to do
Databricks,
with it, right?
yeah. So when I say Databricks, right? So if you want to like work with PySpark, right, you need Databricks actually. So here in Snowflake, you have a concept called Snowpark actually.
Oh.
Snowpark. Snowpark here. Anyway, I'll cover a couple of examples actually. There is one scenario where we have to convert the Oracle procedure to Snowflake. So that's a scenario where we have used this one. Actually, we are implementing AI tool, which itself takes care of the converting everything to Snowflake. It may be SQL or Oracle or Teradata, whatever may the language, it will convert everything, all the objects. So I'll cover Snowpark examples also.
Okay. Sure.
So that's what it's a unique course curriculum and 90% practical. And on the same day, I think I'll most probably every week I used to share the interview questions.
Okay. So you will shuffle between AWS, Azure, and Google
Yes,
Cloud. Is that correct?
yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. So I'll show you all the three actually, how you're going to log in and how you're going to work with. I'll show you everything. I'm just showing the UI. So let's say you have a file in your Amazon S3 bucket. Okay. So we're going to see practically how you're going to load that actually. So let's take, so these are different batches actually. I'll take the latest one. Or let's say, yeah, let's take this one of the folder actually. You'll call it as a bucket in Snowflake terminology. Let's assume you have different files here. Okay. You have different files here. So how you're going to load them to Snowflake. So we will see how practically. You'll get you'll get not 100%, you'll get like at least 10 to 20% of idea on these things actually: Python, Azure, GCP, and Amazon. And also even informatic also I'll cover. And one thing I just want to tell you, right? See, most of the students I used to tell, see, earlier days, right? Let's say if you go back to 10 years back, let's say if you are working on Oracle, you can stick on this tool for at least 10 years. Let's say you're working on SQL Server, you can rely on this tool. Informatica, you can rely on this tool for, you can blindly you can believe this tool and you can survive in the market for 10 years. Now the trend is completely changed. The role should be the people, and I mean the companies are looking more into data engineer kind of thing. Okay, so when I say data engineer, right, you should know about Python, you should know about one database, you should know about any one of the cloud tool and a reporting tool. This is the combination that companies are looking from the candidates. Okay, so you have let's say you are learning Snowflake. Okay, basically when I say Snowflake, it covers most of the part. I think I forgot to mention one more thing, ETL. Okay, so this is a combination. So our
So
course,
where is the Snowflake here? Where is?
DB database.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, any database. Okay, see, it could be Redshift or any other database, Oracle Cloud or GCP. When I say GCP, we have Redshift. Sorry, what is that? They have their own database actually. Okay, so I think you might have seen the different roles. I think you would have heard about Azure data engineers. Okay, Azure
Right.
data engineers. Okay, Google data engineers. Okay, and so these are the different data engineering streams actually. One second, let me just.
Mm.
So I am a Azure data engineer. I'm a certified actually. So even I have completed my Oracle certification in 2011 actually. Okay? So it's almost like close to like 12 years actually. Okay? So I worked on like basic versions of Oracle to now the advanced version is like 19C. So that's what I'm telling. So the reason why I'm telling is Snowflake is recently came into the market and it has huge opening. If you can search in Google or Monster, I mean to say like in LinkedIn or whatever maybe the job portal, you'll find a number of opportunities. But the people are looking more into a data engineer kind of thing. Okay, learn Snowflake. With the help of this, you'll get to know about different things. You will get to know about ETL. Okay, I'll try to cover Power BI. Okay, so I'll try to take one scenario how you're going to integrate with the Power BI. Okay, one ETL Informatica. In Informatica, I'll cover two parts. One is Matillion, and the other one is Informatica Cloud. I'll cover AWS, GCP, Azure database. I'll cover Oracle, Snowflake, and Python. Yes, I'll take a couple of scenarios.